I'm sorry, Tennessee fans. I'm probably one of the more negative Vol fans after that game. Um, I know a lot of us are, as Tennessee fans, a lot of us are trying to make excuses or this, that, the other. I'm just going to tell you, Georgia whooped them. Georgia whooped them up front. Uh, Georgia won all the one-on-one battles in the line on the line of scrimmage. They won them outside. Hendon Hooker missed quite a few throws, and then when he did have a throw to make, sometimes he didn't even try it. Got to give kudos to Georgia. They were the much better team Saturday. I do feel like Kirby Smart took his foot off the gas in the second half. There are a lot of people that get their feelings hurt whenever you say that, but that's exactly what he did. There were multiple third down and mediums where they ran the ball just to run the clock. I think he definitely could have tried to put up more points, and I don't really think they did. I think they tried to kill the clock because they knew that was the only thing that Tennessee had. So I do think Georgia took their foot off the gas, not in a way where they took backups out, but in a way where they just tried to burn the clock and get the game over, which was pretty smart, I think. And like I said, Georgia just physically dominated the line of scrimmage, and that was something you do have to give Samford a little bit more credit than I was thinking you would have to. I didn't really think their crowd would matter. And I still don't think it would have. I think on a neutral site, I think Tennessee gets pushed around again. Maybe not next time, but if they played that game over again last Saturday, if they played it in a neutral site, I think Georgia pushes Tennessee around. I don't think Tennessee was ready for that type of physical game. And I mean, Georgia's been working on Tennessee stuff at least once a week since August, and it kind of makes sense. Smart knew that was going to be one of their biggest battles, and the Bulldogs were a lot better everywhere on every facet of the game. They offense, defense, special teams. They punted better than Tennessee on Saturday. That one punt from the kid that was perfect down at the half-yard line. Now I will say, I've got a few Georgia friends. Namely Brent Johnson and John Patterson. Brent actually sent me a message the other day, this past weekend, and he said, so are me and John Patterson going to get a shout out on your show? And I said, absolutely not. Here's your shout out, Brent. He said, all I want's a little bit of love. And I said, I shout out, but I ain't gonna love. He said, all I want's a go Dogs, and he ain't going to get none of that. He ain't going to get me barking. He ain't going to get none of that. And he told me that was rude. And I said, absolutely. I'm a rude person. I'm a very disrespectful person. I'll give you a shout out. Your Bulldogs were good. You ain't getting nothing else out of me. Congratulations. And I only hope, as a Tennessee fan, I can only hope that the Volunteers get an opportunity to show that that's not how they play football. And I'd love to have a rematch. That would mean Tennessee's in the college football playoff, which we'll get to that in just a second. But like I said, as a Tennessee fan, I can only hope that we have the opportunity to rematch Georgia and show that the team y'all saw Saturday is not the team that Tennessee is. What scares me is physically up front in a rematch. I think Georgia dominated, and I don't know if you can out scheme that. I don't know if you can practice that. The only thing you can really do to beat that is recruit, and that takes a few years. Now, kudos to I've said that already a few times, but kudos to Heupel. He's going out and he's trying to recruit, and he's trying to get some kids that can come in and help Tennessee, especially on that offensive line and defensive line. But until all of those recruits are here, you're still kind of stuck with the guys you got, and not that they're bad. The guys that we got beat Alabama. The guys that we got beat LSU at home by 27. This team is a very good team. But I think it's also okay to admit that Georgia is the best team in the country, and I'm not really sure if it's close. Now, speaking of the college football playoff, it's going to be really fun to see exactly how good Ohio State or Michigan is. They have to play each other, and I think one of those teams is going to push the other one into that next tier. One of them is going to have to be great. You would hope anyway, because if they're not, then it's just Georgia, and Georgia just has to stay awake to win the national championship this year. Because to me, it looks like so far that I kind of thought that maybe Ohio State could be in that A tier with Georgia, but I'm going to have to see that from them. Of course, they don't play anybody, but there's a real good possibility that when they do play a great team, it's going to push them to be very, very good themselves. I don't want to say that Tennessee pushed Georgia to be the best that they could be, but I'm pretty sure that Kirby Smart knew they had to. Kirby Smart knew that this Tennessee team was going to show him what he had. And it showed him that he's got the best football team in college football. Georgia came out and they played a great game on Saturday. They deserved to win the entire time. But as far as the college football playoff goes, Georgia's number one. Ohio State is a very far away number two, in my opinion. And then I think the actual rankings had Michigan at 4 and Michigan at 3 and TCU at 4. I know a lot of Tennessee fans are worried about TCU. There's still so many weeks left. As a Tennessee fan, I don't care where TCU or Michigan or Ohio State or Alabama or LSU or any of these other teams, I don't care where they're ranked. The only team I care about is Tennessee. Tennessee's ranked 5. I think TCU's probably going to lose, and we know Michigan or Ohio State has to lose. Tennessee has to win out. I remember 2016. They fell apart at the end of that year. So this year, you can't everybody's kind of just assuming that Tennessee's going to win out, and they should. They absolutely should, but there's a lot of things that Tennessee should have done over the past 15 years and didn't happen. So Tennessee has to take care of business. Missouri, Vanderbilt, South Carolina, and not in that order, but those are the 3 games left. Tennessee wins those 3 games. I think TCU finds a way to lose against Texas or Baylor. And then, of course, like I said, Ohio State and Michigan have to play each other. I think Tennessee can still get in, but they have to take care of their business first. Okay, let's be honest there. Tennessee has to take care of their business, and let's make sure that happens. Congratulations to Georgia. I'm not saying go Dogs, and I'm not barking, Brent, but congratulations. Now we're going to do a little DMA read. We're going to watch the commercials. We know y'all love the commercials around here. They're better than my content. So we're going to do this. Casey's Take is brought to you by DMA Orthopedics and Dr. Anthony Tropiano. Dr. Anthony Tropiano provides patients with prompt, effective treatment using the best technology available and in a manner that is compassionate and understanding of their needs. Dr. Tropiano is a board-certified orthopedic surgeon. Call 615-441-4522 today. That's 615-441-4522. Commercial.
At Dixon Medical Associates, your health is our number one priority. With over 40 providers, our goal is to bring excellent, convenient, and comprehensive medical care to our community. Dixon Medical Associates, a destination for care.
Now, the second take, I wanted to talk Titans and Chiefs. I'll be honest, I thought going into this game that the Chiefs had a possibility of winning by about 13 to 17 points. I think Tennessee actually played well enough to win that game. I think Tennessee deserved to win that game. I think that whether there was any malice or not, the officials stole that game from the Titans. And don't get me wrong, I get the offensive line was terrible there at the end, and y'all want to blame Malik Willis for not throwing the ball. There's Cody Hollister's 45 yards down the field pushing the defensive back. He's not even turned around looking for the ball. What's Malik supposed to throw to? The receivers are god awful on this team. I know that Traylon Burks is hurt, but anybody that wants to complain or bark about Malik Willis just obviously doesn't know anything about football. And I hope that somebody that watches this gets their feelings hurt because, yes, I'm talking about you. Malik Willis was not the reason why the Titans lost that game the other day. Todd Downing is a complete full-blown moron, okay? How many times did Dontrell Hilliard even touch the ball? Derrick Henry was a freight train. He had 92 yards on 9 carries at halftime, and then didn't even get to double that production in the second half. If Derrick Henry's averaging 10 yards a rush, you're going to have to hold a gun to my head and then pull the trigger to actually keep me from giving him the ball. Todd Downing should be fired for neglect if he's not already fired for being an idiot, okay? Todd Downing's a problem. The offensive line has no pass blocking. The receivers don't even know to run a route on third and God knows how long in overtime. Go back and watch when Malik Willis gets tackled in the backfield for a sack and he jumps up with his hands in the air, you're going to think he's throwing a fit. He's mad. Yeah, he's mad because Cody Hollister is 30, 40 yards down the field pushing his defensive back down the field as if it's another run, which we didn't do earlier in the game. I thought Malik did everything he needed to earlier in the game to help the Titans get a lead and do everything that they needed to do. Was he perfect? No. Is he still going to make a lot of mistakes? Yes. He's not ready. He's still at like a year and a half out, I think, from being starter ready. I think that's what he needs. I told y'all when the season started, hopefully just one season is what he needs, but he probably needs 2. And he probably does. He probably needs 2 years to get ready to play NFL football. Aaron Rodgers got like 3 or 4 years. I mean, some of these guys, excuse me. Oh, Lord. I had burritos yesterday. I'm still feeling them. But Malik Willis was not the reason why the Titans lost that game. The reason why the Titans lost that game is because of some really bad calls, like awful, awful calls. Tennessee got hosed on national television, and I don't think anybody's really talking about it enough, which is fine. I don't really care. Tennessee doesn't need that game. It may affect a tiebreaker later in the year, but the Titans are going to win this division. Houston's awful. Jacksonville can be good, but I don't think they know how to. And the Colts are a dumpster fire, which is hilarious because I know a lot of Colts fans. But Titans are going to win the division. It's not that big of a deal. They didn't really need to win that game. I thought they showed a lot of guts to come out there and play the way that they did. Shane Bowen, Mike Vrabel did really great defensively, slowing down the Chiefs. What can you say? I mean, you can sit here and you get mad about it if you want. It's not Malik Willis's fault. Please, God. I mean, just no. He's not Tom Brady and he's not Michael Vick yet. I mean, he only threw for so many yards. I get all that, and there probably are a lot of limitations because he is your quarterback and he can't do a lot of things. He's not the reason why the Titans lost. He's not the reason why the Titans lost. And there may come a day where he is. There may be a day where he goes out there and he completely sucks, and he's the reason why we lose. He's the reason why the Titans lose. But that's not what happened Sunday night. That's just not what happened Sunday night. It came down to a bunch of other factors. Like I said, the Zebras, and I don't know if they were trying to help the Chiefs, but I mean, Kansas City had 14 opportunities to score in that last little touchdown drive they had. They should have scored a touchdown. One of the best quarterbacks of all time with one of the most offensive-minded geniuses of all time. Yeah, they should have been able to score after that many opportunities. And then the holding call on defense when Kelsey rips dude helmet off, whatever. I'm not going to get upset about that. I'm just telling you right now, Titans got hosed on national television. I'm glad that game's over. I got so sick and tired of watching that. I was almost in disbelief how bad the officiating was and how bad Todd Downing is. I mean, my little sister has played one game of Madden in her entire life, and I legitimately believe that she would have a better idea of what to do in certain situations than he does. I have zero faith in Todd Downing. I have more faith in Mexican tap water than Todd Downing. He's trash. He's not very good at his job. And I hope he watches this. I hope a lot of people watch this. I hope he gets his feelings hurt. He is terrible. Terrible. Okay. before I get too far into that. We're gonna get on into the third take. We're not gonna talk very much about baseball because I've been telling you guys the whole time I didn't really want to watch the World Series. The Braves aren't in it, so I don't want to watch it. I'm ecstatic that the Phillies did not win a World Series. I don't I don't like the Astros. I don't think anybody really does like the Astros outside of Houston and a few bandwagon fans on Twitter. But other than that, there aren't a lot of Astros fans. This is a legitimate World Series title for them, as far as I'm concerned. I think anyway. You know, I didn't hear any trash cans, but you'll have to ask the folks from Philly. Good for Dusty Baker too. Dusty Baker, one of the all-time good guys in Major League Baseball. I love Dusty. I'm happy that he was finally able to get him a World Series. He was headed to the Hall of Fame anyway. He's got a better resume than a lot of the guys that are already in there, but he didn't have a World Series, and now he's got that. So it's kind of the cherry on top. I don't know if he's going to retire or not. I don't know if he already has. Maybe he has. I haven't seen it. I don't know what his future looks like, but good luck to Dusty. Congratulations to him. A few of those guys, I like the shortstop Jeremy Pena, and Verlander's been around in the league for a long time. So Yordan Alvarez, one of my favorite players, congratulations to them. And again, it makes me so happy that the Phillies lose, because I don't think Philadelphia fans in general deserve happiness. And I've said that, and I'm going to keep saying that. So let's see. Oh, real quick, before we get too far, I've got a few minutes because, like I said, I'm not going to talk about baseball very much, but just to keep up with a little bit of baseball stuff. Free agency. There are a bunch of free agents now, and I believe people can sign. So the Braves got to figure out what they're going to do with Dansby Swanson. Trey Turner's available. I'd love to have Trey Turner as an Atlanta Brave. And you guys know, I mean, Dansby Swanson had the best season of his Major League career. I'm afraid that's going to be the best he can be, and I think he's going to ask for money that he really doesn't deserve. I think Trey Turner, though, can be one of the best players in baseball, and I would love for the Atlanta Braves to go out and spend money on him and Jacob deGrom, but I don't have the money. I don't think I don't know if they're going to get either one of those guys. Definitely not both. Probably not both. But I'm going to hold out hope. Because I'd love to see deGrom and Trey Turner in Braves jerseys. That it would almost feel like a video game moment, as if I'm the one in control and I've turned the budgets off and I'm just going out and spending money like a madman, or what the Dodgers do every year. But that would be fantastic. I would love to have Trey Turner on the Atlanta Braves. I'd love to have deGrom too, but I don't really care much to have Dansby back. And I know a lot of people want Dansby Swanson back. If Dansby Swanson came back, I wouldn't hate it on the condition that he's not getting paid an absurd amount of money. And I'm afraid that he's going to look for an absurd amount of money. And I just hope that if he gets it, it's not from the Atlanta Braves. But we're going to talk about all the free agency stuff next week. Hopefully there's a few signings between now and then. We'll catch up with all that, but we're going to do one more DMA read. We're going to go to a commercial. And then whenever we get back, we're going to talk a little bit of high school sports. There's not a whole lot because all the football teams lost. But Casey's Take brought to you by DMA Orthopedics and Dr. Anthony Tropiano. Dr. Anthony Tropiano provides patients with prompt, effective treatment using the best technology available and in a manner that is compassionate and understanding of their needs. Dr. Tropiano is a board-certified orthopedic surgeon. Call 615-441-4522 today. That's 615-441-4522. All right, and welcome back to the Last Take, high school sports, as per usual. Not really a whole lot to talk about today. I hit my camera, sorry, or my laptop. Not really a whole lot to talk about. Last week was the last week of football for all the teams in the area. Creekwood lost 14-7 to Hardin County. Harpeth lost 22-0 to Bledsoe County. I believe it was 22-0. And then Sycamore lost 41-0 to Smith County. So all the football is done in the area. The only other sport being played right now is that I know of is bowling. Of course, there was some cross country last week. We're going to talk about that in just a second. Bowling's the only thing going on right now, which is kind of good for me. It's cool to have a little bit of break and work with the team a lot here in the beginning of the season. But we did have some cross country last week, some big cross country news. Jackson Martin from Creekwood won state meet championship, that back-to-back titles for him. He's a monster. Kid's as good as it gets. When it comes to running, he's as good as it gets. I'm actually surprised. I don't think he would have played football, but I'm surprised Theo didn't ask him. And he may have. Maybe he did. Maybe he did ask him. But congratulations to him. Creekwood had another young lady, another athlete, a young lady named Lily Killebrew, also plays basketball. She competed last week. Dixon County sent 4 girls and a young man. They all raced last week. Nathan Markham was the one man, and then Ulexi Campos, Alexis Maddox. I'm drawing a blank on the other 2 names, but Dixon had 2 other girls. And then over in the Cheatham area, Sycamore's Josh Novotny actually ran in the Class 1AA tournament. But that's about all that's going on right now. But good news, fans. We've got basketball season is right around the corner. I believe everything starts up. Is today the 10th? Oh, Lord. Everything starts up next week. We've got basketball. We're also going to have the last group of basketball season previews in next week's papers. Both the Dixon Post and the Cheatham County Exchange are going to have the season previews. We've done Cheatham and Sycamore already for Cheatham, so Harpeth is going to be next week. And then in the Dixon Post, we're going to have both Dixon and Creekwood season preview articles for both boys and girls. And it's going to come out next week right as the season begins. So I probably should have written down who's season opener and where it's all at, but I couldn't tell you all that right now. I've looked at so many different schedules. I'm pretty sure Sycamore's on the road at West Creek, and I think that might be wrong. I'm pretty sure that was wrong information. I gotta start figuring out a better idea to keep up with all these schedules because there's a bunch of them. But basketball's on the way, wrestling's on the way. Wrestling's a big deal in this area. Creekwood and Dixon both take it very seriously. Harpeth, Sycamore, and Cheatham all take it extremely seriously. It's a big deal here in this area. So wrestling coming up, we've got all kinds of stuff to do there. But that's going to be it for today's show. And Brent, I hope you watched all the way through the show. You're still not getting a Go Dogs. I'm just telling you right now, or me barking. I'm not doing it. But thanks for hanging out with me today. A little bit of a shorter show today. If the Titans and Vols would have won, we would have talked longer. But thanks for hanging out with me. I hope y'all had fun. Of course, I always do. So follow me on Twitter at CVP51. Tell me why I'm wrong. Tell me why I'm right. Actually, do whatever you want. I don't care. But y'all have a wonderful evening, and come back and see me next week.